Good morning. Sorry about the intro. Welcome to another edition of Choppin It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Well, listen, it is so much to talk about in so little time as I get ready for work, but I had to chop it up this morning. First of all, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and your continuous support, your comments. People are becoming Facebook friends because of the show. New sports buddies and it's being created. Well, what a blessing that is to see that take place. It is truly a blessing. But we're gonna get right to it, and we're gonna start off in college football. USC and Penn State. Where do I begin? That was an epic performance by USC last night. An epic performance. Let me start off by saying this. This is their 25th Rose Bowl win. Most wins by any team in any bowl game. 25th Rose Bowl win. Outstanding. Outstanding. This colleges has probably never even been to 25 bowl games, let alone a win. Outstanding. And then getting to the game. Penn State coming in as the number 5 team in the country. USC coming in as the number 9 team in the country. So this is pretty evenly matched. Penn State takes the L. But USC scores 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. Their quarterback throws for 33 to 53, and for 453 yards with 5 touchdowns. What a performance last night this was. This was an exciting game. USC is on the winning side of this one. This reminded me of a little bit of that championship game several years ago with USC against Texas, where Vince Young came back in fourth quarter and put on an epic performance. But this one here, what a game it was. USC not letting up, Penn State hanging in it. 101 total points, most scored in any bowl game. 25th win, Rose Bowl win for USC. Incredible. Great game. This game featured a lot of players that will be playing on Sunday. I look forward to seeing some of these guys next season returning and also going on to the pros. But what a game it was. Very competitive. Apparently it appeared that Penn State ran out of gas. Like I said, 17 unanswered points in the fourth quarter for the come from behind win. What a win by USC it was. I mean, unfortunately, someone's got to lose, and this was an unfortunate situation. But what a game it was. Great game. It definitely will be on Classic Sports. We will see this game somewhere in the near future on either ESPN or some other sports network. This game will be replayed, retelevised. That is for sure. Great performance. Yet another bowl game down in New Orleans, the All-State Sugar Bowl. This one was pretty lopsided. It wasn't that close of a contest. Oklahoma outlasts Auburn. Running back Joe Mixon, he put on a performance. He had 19 carries, 91 yards, and he had 5 catches for 89 yards. In fact, he ran for 91, caught for 89. So he had a big game from the line of scrimmage, 180 total yards. But this one was really lopsided. Oklahoma, they go on and beat Auburn. 2 teams remaining. It's the rematch from last year. Comes on next week. You got Alabama Crimson Tides going against Clemson Tigers for all the marbles. A rematch. Does Deshaun Watson revenge that loss from last year, or does Alabama continue their assault on the college football ranks and win their second consecutive championship? This one got excitement written all over it. We'll see about that next week, Monday. All right. Now we're gonna shift gears to the NBA, and it was an interesting night to say the least. And we're gonna start off in Chicago. Butler became the 8th player this season to score 50 or more points. That's an NBA record, or something that hasn't happened in a very long time. But I think it's an NBA record, and we're not even halfway through the season. So look for that record to be broken. Because there's no defense in the NBA, so individuals are going to be able to score 50 points. It's not a problem. But the big story here for me is in Chicago. I mean, it's good to see Butler do his thing. It's good to see Bulls pick up a win over the Hornets, who's playing good ball. But more importantly, has Rondo played with his last NBA team? Is someone going to take a chance and go after Rondo? I mean, it can't be the teams. At some point, we got to look at the common denominator. When we're facing a problem, we have to look at a common denominator. He didn't have a problem in Boston when they traded him. They just felt that he wasn't the right fit there. They had a young coach, and they wanted to surround him with young players. And it turned out to be a great move by Danny Ainge. And not only trade Rondo, but what he picked up for Rondo. He received Jay Crowder, and Jay Crowder has been nothing but a great player for that team. And when he does well, he does well. Is he an all-star player? No. But his fit for that team is great. Hard-nosed, tough, tenacious defense. He's just a good fit there. Occasionally pops the three, but he's a great fit there. Rondo goes to Dallas. We know the story there. We know the story there where he had to be shut down in the midst of the playoffs. Him and Rick Carlisle going at it. And Rick Carlisle is probably one of the top 5 coaches in the NBA. Right? He often had his run-in with Doc Rivers, who many regards to not only as a coach, but somewhat like a father figure. How did you get in a run-in with Doc? That I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. All right. He goes to Sacramento. Had actually a comeback type year. Played very well. Boogie Cousins is on record. I want him back here next year. But they don't bring him back. And that's a team starving for a star guard, a star point guard. And now he goes to Chicago, where he lobbies D. Wade over there. You're in the backcourt with D. Wade. Now, I'm not the biggest Fred Hoiberg fan. I'm not. I'm not a fan of him. I don't think he's ready for the NBA. But how does Rondo wind up in the doghouse there? What is it about this guy? He's got a load of talent. His jump shot is suspect, but he still has the ability to lead a team. What's wrong with this guy? Have we seen the last of Rondo in an NBA uniform? I know if I had a team, I'm not picking him. I mean, if he can't control himself, or let's put it this way, because I don't know the story, but if he is a problem or a detriment to the team when you're in the backcourt with D. Wade, of all people, D. Wade is one of the most classiest players in the league. It just makes me say, It really makes me say, something's not right with the individual. I wish him well. The guy's quality talent. He has a load to offer to any team, but right now it doesn't look good for Rondo. And hopefully he gets it right. But anyway, Chicago wins the game. Butler scores 52 points. What a performance by Butler. He was giving it from here, there, and everywhere. He is really asserting himself as one of the top 10 players in the league. He's always in that conversation as, is he the best two-way player in the game? And those two-way players in the game that seems like it's always coming up is him, Kawhi Leonard, and Klay Thompson. Me personally, I'm taking Klay over all 3 of them. I think that Klay is better on the offensive side, and he's not that distance on the defensive side from any of those two. I like Klay over all 3 of them. I think that we don't see Klay like we see them two because Klay is not the Batman on their team. You know, and Klay he's a sidekick to either Curry and even Durant, and he still has his numbers. You know, remember, he did put up 60. He did put up 60. So I still like Clay. I think his defense is as good as theirs. He guards the 1 through the 3. They usually guard the 2 through the 4, maybe, or just 2 and the 3, I should say. But I really like Clay over the 3 of them. But it's a problem, nice problem to have if someone says, yeah, you have your first pick, you got to pick between those 3. Oh, nice problem to have. It really is. I mean, you don't go wrong with neither one of them. But I think I'll go with Clay over them. Yeah. Speaking of Clay, Golden State, they continue their winning ways as they beat up on Denver yesterday. I mean, it's not that exciting anymore with Golden State. I mean, is anyone going to beat them? I mean, it was an epic performance on Christmas. It looks like we're headed that way anyway, unless San Antonio can have something to say about it, or unless Toronto maybe trade for Millsap and they suit up and give Cleveland a run for it, which if they was to get Millsap, that could be a threat to Cleveland. But out west, it doesn't look like Golden State's going to be threatened too much. So I look for that. The Bucks, Milwaukee, OKC comes in there. We know how hot Westbrook is. He doesn't get a triple-double, but Giannis not shuts him down, but he propels his team to a win. Listen, I want to talk about this Milwaukee Bucks team. They got this Giannis guy. I'm going to tell you something. He's an athletic Kevin Durant. If he can ever get this jump shot consistent enough, he's going to be a problem. This guy plays point guard, plays center, he plays all 5 positions. He does what he wants with the ball. He's a tough person to guard. He's 7 feet. His wingspan makes him like 8 feet. His ability to get to the basket anytime he wants. His handle is bananas. This guy right here could be the face of the league in a very near time. I like Brogdon, the rookie out of Virginia. He's gradually becoming that point guard that they need. Jabari Parker's good there. What if Chris Middleton comes back? Who can stretch the floor with his outside jump shot? Henson, I'm not a fan of, but he does make his presence felt when he's on the court. They can get anything from Monroe. They'd be fine. This Milwaukee team, if they get in, I don't think you want to play them. They're tough to beat. Can they be beat? Sure. They're not there yet, but they're tough to beat. You're going to play a full game and maybe more. You will play a full game and maybe more to beat these guys. They are a load to deal with. They have a lot of talent. I'm not the big Jason Kidd fan, but he has them playing very well. They're going to be a tough out. They're really going to be a tough out. Keep your eye out on Milwaukee, and Giannis is only getting better. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. The Houston Rockets, they knocked off the Wizards. Harden, he finishes with another triple-double. He didn't shoot well from the floor, less than 25%. But at the end of the day, another triple-double, his 3rd straight. I tell you something. I didn't see this coming with the Houston Rockets. I mean, this style of ball that's being played in the NBA is clearly Mike D'Antoni's bread and butter. But I thought the lack of defense would catch up with them. But right now, it's not really a concern. These guys are playing ball. They're playing ball, and they're saying, catch me if you can. Exactly. Catch me if you can. And it's working for them. Now, what would it be like in the playoffs? You know, the game usually slows down. More strategy is used by opposing coaches. So we'll see what happens then. But right now, they're playing some good ball. It's been a great season for the Houston Rockets, especially for James Harden, as he continues to compete with Westbrook for MVP. I think it's Westbrook's to lose at this point, but you never know with these voters. You never know. You never know. I saved the worst for last, and that was the New York Knicks, my team. Acknowledge the Hatters over there. What took place last night was a debacle. It's disgraceful. You're kicking off the new year. You have a sold-out guard. You have the Magics in town, team that you beat before, a team that really is not as good as you, a team that's trying to find an identity with a new coach, They don't really have a great roster, and they come in there and they just whip your tail. That is horrific. That is embarrassing, and the Knicks, the players, should be ashamed of themselves. They've lost 5 in a row. They've now 2 games under 500 after being 3 games above, flirting with the 3 seed. Now they're somewhere in the 9th or the 10th seed and need a run to get back into it. This one is horrible. Carmelo is shooting horrible from the floor. I wonder if his shoulder is really bothering him. Remember, he sat out a game because of a sore shoulder against the Golden State Warriors a couple of weeks ago. But his shooting has not been the same since December 20th when he was hot against the Pacers. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm just curious. But this is horrible. I know Porzingis didn't play. You don't need Porzingis for this game. You don't. And to the pundits or to this European scout that believes that the reason why KP Porzingis' Achilles is sore is because Jeff Hornacek increased his minutes. Listen, kid is 20 years old. When I was 20 years old, I could play basketball all day long. Yeah, I don't know what it is to compete on an NBA level. I don't. But I know I used to play all day long, and I didn't have the conditioning that these guys have. I often played drinking beer. I mean, up and down the court, full court, one after another, one after another, one after another. I didn't have nobody stretching me out the next day. I didn't have a bucket of Gatorade. I didn't have a masseuse following me around. And we used to do this sun up to sundown. I don't see why a 20-year-old cannot go 40 minutes a game without complaints. This is unheard of to me. This is uncharted territory. But there's that diva mentality that is being bestowed upon these players from all over, whether it's management, scouts, agents, or themselves. What happened to the days where players throw their towels on a bench when the coach takes them out the game? What happened to the days where players says, "Man, I'm okay. I'm hurt. I'm not injured. I can play." What happened to those days? What happened to those days? A 20-year-old averaging about 36 minutes a game, and someone's going to say because his minutes are up, that's why he's hurt? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I don't. There's a group of people that's dying to get in the NBA, would love to have a uniform on. Would love to have a uniform on. Go down to the D League. You'll see them. Just watch a college basketball game. See how hard these guys play. And you're talking about a 20-year-old, because he's playing 35 to 36 minutes a night, that's why his Achilles is sore? Just tell me he hurt it. Don't tell me it's from playing too many minutes. And it's just unheard of. Right now, the Knicks they put themselves in a position where now they got to fight, kick, claw, scratch their way back into the top 8. I tell you what, right now the culture is changed. They look like they're slumping. Their head is down. It's just an awful display right now. It's looking horrible. It's going to take a big turnaround. They're going to need to go on and win like 5 of the next 6 games to get this right, and hope that some people ahead of them are losing. This doesn't look good. You're going into the midpoints pretty soon. The last thing you want to do is be under 500 at that point. You know, remember, the more games you win early, the less you need later. And right now, the Knicks need all they can get. This doesn't look good. A lot of one-on-one play. No continuity on the offensive side. As sharp as Derrick Rose is looking, he's not helping the team with his one-on-one play. There needs some ball movement. The Knicks are in the need of a major trade. Unfortunately, the people you want to trade, you can't trade, and you don't have enough assets to make a trade to bring back somebody who's a difference maker. this one is not looking good for New York. It really isn't. I was hoping maybe Chris Paul was out of it at this point in the season. Maybe we could swing a trade for him. I know that's wishful thinking, but we need a general over there, and so that we can have some continuity on the offensive side. I'm a Derrick Rose fan since he came in the league. I think he has the talent. If he didn't have that major injury, he probably wouldn't even be a Knick. But if he didn't have that major injury, he's probably competing with Westbrook right now as that point guard that we see from Westbrook. But he has to run the team. He just can't go one-on-one. He has to run the team. And he has to get everybody involved. And it's not happening. We need an automatic shot off the bench. We don't have it. A lot of good things happen from the bench when we're running the ball and there's continuity with the ball, but there's no one you can go from a spot-up shot. Knicks need help. They need a lot of help. A lot of help. Well, listen, that's going to do it for the show. Like I said, I got to get ready for work. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching the show and sending me your comments. And I believe Thursday we'll go live and we'll talk about the biggest stories in the NFL. But right now, I'll see you guys in 24. And thanks for watching. Peace and blessings. All the best. Have a great day.